Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a little update video on Ghoulhaven, since I've actually starting to make some progress now. Basically what this is a prequel to Rare's Grabbed by the Ghoulies that came out in 2003. You may not be familiar with that game, because, well, it didn't really sell much at all, and a lot of people at the time didn't enjoy it either. But I'll hand off to some of the guys at Rare just to explain, what the original game was. Give you a bit of an idea on what this prequel sort of is as well.
Grabbed by the Ghoulies is a romp through a haunted house. You play as Cooper. Him and his girlfriend have been ambling through the countryside, and all of a sudden she's kidnapped by Baron von Ghoul and taken into this weird, dark-looking mansion. And so Cooper goes into the house to try and rescue her through the traditional method of beating up everything in sight.
You basically went from room to room, and each room was a self-contained, almost like a puzzle. You had to either kill everything in the room, or you had to smash all the items in the room, which was quite cool for those days.
You take on skeletons and zombies and mummies and little weird imps, and yeah, you just got to smash and crash your way through to rescuing Ember.
So one of the first things you'd notice in this, apart from it obviously being heavily under construction, is that the colour scheme is a lot lighter than the original. The reason that was done is because I'm doing a prequel. I sort of want to tell a story that's based before everything got sort of, fucked up in the mansion. Everything went wrong, so to speak. This isn't necessarily final. I might just change it to darker later. So I won't go too deep into plot details just yet, but the basic idea is I want to fill in some gaps of what Rare sort of hinted at in the original. So for example, where all the kids that went to the school. There's so many servant beds up in the servant quarters, but there's hardly any staff. Did they all turn into ghoulies? Are they dead? Well, trying to answer things like that. And to do so, I'm going to look at the point of view of one of the captured kids from the original. Sort of answer why they were there, how they got there, who they are, what happened to them, blah blah blah. So that should be pretty fun. Gameplay wise, what you can see in this original trailer is what I'm going for. Combat should be the same, pickups should be the same. There are a couple of minor differences, and I'll hand back over to one of the guys at Rare to explain some of the features that they removed that I kind of want to add back in.
So one of the features that never actually made it into Grabbed by the Ghoulies was a co-op feature. I think this was something that we all were hoping to try and squeeze it in at one point, and that was to have two characters running around the house trying to do all the challenges. And one of the problems we have from an engineering point of view was just how we could get that to work. If they had been in a big open arena, it would have been fine because you'd have this space to work with. But in a tiny house, the camera was the death knell for this.
So one of the things I decided to change early on is the exploration. Because in the original it's very linear, you move from one room to the next. But there's so many rooms, the mansion's so big, there's so many ghoulies to see and everything, so I decided to make it more free roam. So you won't necessarily be able to go anywhere at any time, but there'll be multiple paths to take. You can retrace your steps whenever you want, find secrets, find other challenges, and so on. So for example, that door on the left didn't exist in this room in the original, but on the other side of the wall, in the study, if you're looking at the layout of the mansion, there is an actual door there that's boarded up. And you can see those things like all through the mansion. Some are boarded up, some are bricked up. Some have things blocking them, like laundry baskets or whatnot. So yeah, it's pretty clear that Rare did well. Maybe they just left those in Easter eggs, but I like to think that they did intend to have those areas linked together, and they just either ran out of time or didn't get to have that sort of free roam aspect as much as they wanted to. Well, thanks for watching. Hope this has been informative. Hope you like what you see, especially if you were a fan of the original. There's not a whole lot of us out there. I'll just end this video with a little map I made to sort of plan out the structure of my interpretation of the mansion. It's about, as accurate as I can be, but a lot of the geometry didn't really make sense in the original. I had to alter some things. This may give an idea of what it will eventually look like. Or I could maybe one day just do a video of a version of it actually built in Fortnite, so I could see, exactly where each door goes and each door doesn't go, and so on. So yeah, thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to see more of this in the future.